If I could have your attention here in the deadline room, we'll continue on with today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup media availability here for the Pure Michigan 400. We're joined by Kyle Larson, driver of the number 42 Target Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Busy week for you, Kyle. Great start at Knoxville. Now you're here at the site of a racetrack that you're pretty good at. So could you just walk us through your mindset going into this week?
Yeah, it's already been a good week. Monday, I ran Oskaloosa and ran third. Wednesday, we won at Knoxville, and then here we've been pretty decent in practice so far. Could use a little more speed. I feel like the handling is okay, but could use a little more speed. And then, it's fun. Michigan is a great track for us. We've won the last 2 times here. We've had some good runs before that as well. So have been off a little bit the last couple weeks, but I'm excited to be back here at Michigan, where we do have success and can hopefully run good and get that momentum back. And then Chip's allowing me to go to Knoxville on or tomorrow, which is great. So I'll get to go compete in the A main there, and then come back and try and go for 3 in a row here. So cool weekend for me, and really excited for it.
Awesome. We'll be pulling for you tomorrow night. Let's go ahead and open the floor for questions. Raise your hand. We'll start with Kelly, and we'll come up here to Matt.
Kelly, CrandallRacer.com. Kyle, you mentioned it's been a rough couple of weeks. How much has that just been bad luck or performance, and any concerns that you're kind of losing a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs?
Yeah, we've had probably more bad luck than bad runs. I think Indy we were pretty good at, probably 4th or 5th best car, and then same at Pocono, but we broke a drive shaft at Pocono and got in a wreck at Indy. Watkins Glen, we were definitely not very good, I didn't think. Maybe missing a race in there somewhere, but it's just part of it. It's hard to have a perfect season and be fast every week, but our team is excited about the race car we've got here this weekend. They've found a lot of stuff in the wind tunnel earlier this week, so happy about that. Car felt good, like I said, in practice, so hopefully we can make a solid weekend, have no mistakes, and go for a 3rd win.
Okay, we're going to go to Matt, then to Tyler, and then to Wolfgang.
Yeah, I'm curious how you talked Chip into it. Can you describe? I mean, did you call him, text him, email him? How did that go?
I didn't know he was going to be in Detroit yesterday with us, a part of the unveiling of the 2008 Chevy Camaro Z01, so that was cool. But I rode back with him to the airport, and we talked about it a little bit. He voiced his concerns about it, but I think more than me asking, I feel like Steve Valletta and John Olging at our race shop probably had the most impact probably on me being able to run. So got to thank them. But ultimately, it's all Chip's decision. So I know my fans really appreciate it. All my sprint car fans and NASCAR fans. So Chip's a hero today in this weekend, so I appreciate it.
We'll go next to Tyler, then to Wolfgang.
Tyler Burnett, MRN. Biggest challenge this weekend, holding off shots tomorrow or winning this race in Michigan?
Equal, I would say. To win a cup race is extremely tough. So first off, I'd probably say Michigan would be tough, and to go for 3 in a row, especially with how fast the Gibbs cars seem to be, and also Blaney this weekend seems to be really fast. So, both races will be really tough. To beat Donnie and Gravel from the front row, that'll be tough as well. But I feel like if we get to traffic, I could compete with them and try and get a win.
Go next to Wolfgang, then to Brian.
Kyle, it's a big challenge to drive here and then also in Knoxville, but I think even a bigger challenge is the travel arrangement. Can you give some more details how you make the travel organization, traveling from here to Knoxville and back? And what's the schedule in Knoxville? Who is qualifying your car if you're not there?
There's no qualifying on Saturday. I ran my qualifying night on Wednesday, so I'm locked in the feature. I start 9th. But as far as travel goes, we were going to take Casey's plane, but now it looks like to save us all some money, Richard Marshall and Priority Aviation that's on the sprint car this weekend in Knoxville. He's gonna help out with his plane to get us back and forth. So, got to thank him as well. It's only a little over an hour flight, I think, and I probably don't even get on track until 8:30 or 9 o'clock on Saturday. So, the logistics part of it's not that tricky and not that stressful either. So, my morning on Sunday. Well, I don't even do anything until about 11:30 in the morning, so I'll still be able to get plenty of sleep and be ready for Sunday.
Brian?
Brian Nelson with MRN. So with 2 wins here and 1 at Auto Club Speedway, very similar tracks, what is it about the 2-mile D-ovals that works so well for you?
Yeah, I don't know. These are 2-mile tracks, Michigan and Fontana, but they're both totally different, just based off the pavement. Fontana's really wore out, and here's got a lot of grip and a lot of speed. But for whatever reason, our setups seem to be pretty good at both of these places. So our team's done a great job with our high downforce cars, and I think that pays off when you get to 1.5 mile and 2 mile tracks. And we seem to have definitely hit on something for here, especially and Fontana.
Additional questions here for Kyle? Going once, going twice. Tyler?
Yeah, just along the lines of next week, Bristol, one of your favorite racetracks. Can you tell us what it's going to be like to go back there?
Yeah, I always Bristol is probably my favorite racetrack, and then Homestead would be my best racetrack. But yeah, I always look forward to going there. It's kind of like a 500-mile sprint car race, just to how aggressive it is, and slide jobs and run on the top, run on the bottom. With the VHT on the bottom now, you got multiple lanes you can run. Traffic is intense. It's just a lot of these tracks you go to, you can kind of ride a little bit throughout the middle portions of the race, but Bristol, you're on edge the whole time, racing hard, and it makes it a lot of fun. So our race cars are pretty good at Bristol. Could probably be a little bit better on the long run stuff. I feel like as the race goes on at Bristol, and the track takes more rubber, I tend to slow down and become more even with people. So if we can figure out how to keep the front tires on it for a long run and stay turning, I'll be pretty good.
Sure.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTires.net and PRN. After Bristol, you have an off week. Your thoughts on that? You got any plans? More racing? What are you gonna do?
No, we're so Wednesday night was supposed to be my last sprint car race of the season, but now Saturday will be. So our off weekend, we're gonna go celebrate Stenhouse's birthday a little bit early in Tulum, I guess. I don't know where that is, but we're gonna go on vacation, and that should be fun. I don't get to go on many vacations. Well, I mean, I go on lots of vacations, but they're typically spent at a dirt track. So this one will be spent with some sand and all that. I'm sure Danica will probably go on some yoga retreat or something, but we'll be relaxing on the beach.
Bob?
Bob Packers, ESPN. I did want to check, since you've hit your max of sprint car races, right? So was the issue with Chip that you had already done your max, or just racing on the Saturday before a cup race?
I actually hadn't hit my max. I had 24 races. I can run 25. I got 24 on my schedule. So, because I'll run Turkey Night after Homestead on Thanksgiving, and then I kept some open to go to New Zealand and race. So I left one open, just kind of the way it worked out. And so yeah, now with running Knoxville on Saturday, and if I get no rainouts, I'll be to my max by December 31st. So I don't remember the other part of your question.
Well, so it's the matter of racing on Saturday.
Yeah, so I can't, my deal with Chip is I can't race a sprint car or midget or anything really the night before I'm on track. So I couldn't have raced last night in Knoxville and practiced today. That would have been against the contract. But that's why I ran Wednesday, because I have to have an off day. So that's how it works out, and I think it's fair, and I still get to run a lot of races. So I'm thankful for Chip to even allow me to do what I get to do right now. So it's especially nice, though, that he's making an exception for Saturday night.
Is it just so that you're fresh for Sunday?
Probably. I think that's got a impact on it to be fresh, but then also it kind of gives them, knock on wood. But if I got hurt, it gives them, an extra day to find somebody and organize all that. All right, good.
Geography with Jerry Jordan. Any additional questions?
Yeah, I got a passport.
Good deal. Well, Kyle, good luck the rest of the weekend, and good luck on Sunday. If I can have your attention here in the Media Center, we'll continue on with today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series media availability. For Sunday's Pure Michigan 400, and we're joined by Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. Joey has a couple wins here at Michigan. When I think Michigan International Speedway, I think about how successful you've been at this racetrack. Particularly, I don't think you finished outside the top 10 at this racetrack in a long, long time. So, what is it about Michigan that really suits your driving style?
Well, I think it's a lot of different things. Michigan's always a lot of fun, particularly on restarts. There's a lot to take advantage of. There's a lot of opportunity that arises in those moments, and I showed again in the spring when we were able to drive up to third with a car that wasn't quite as good as a third place car was. So, we'll try to be better this time. I think our car, just to start off, has been substantially better than the last time we were here. So we made some good gains. It looks like our teammates got good speed. So we're hoping to try to turn some things around here and get our third one here in Michigan.
Okay, let's go ahead and open the floor for questions. We'll start with Claire B, and we'll work our way around.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. A lot of people think the race and watching, a race team, if they follow you, is just the race, but it's a whole weekend. And when you have so much you want to accomplish and get that win to get you in the playoffs, A, how do you not get desperate? And that, shakes everything up within a team. And B, how much of this weekend is important to be able to pull it off?
Well, I think to answer your question, you do get a little bit desperate, right? You got to win. There's no second option. So, the intensity is very, very high. You have to be on point all the time. Every change has to be a good one. Every lap has to be a good one. Every moment just becomes more and more important on the racetrack, and that's okay. That's where you find out what you're made out of. So I'm all right with that. That's basically what it's like for every driver that makes the playoffs and every team that makes the playoffs. They have to be better than what they were all year long to get to Homestead and race for a championship. So we're starting that a little bit sooner because we have to. What about the weekend itself, obviously, like I said, during practice and stuff, that intensity's up throughout the whole weekend. It's not just the race itself. It's from when you start to think about what you're going to do here in Michigan on Monday, all the way through the week. There's a lot of thoughts that are going through your mind.
Go next to Wolfgang.
Joey, you race here in Michigan next week, totally extreme other racetrack in Bristol, much, much shorter. You're going with the same car, or you have for Bristol a special car? I think here the aero package is quite important. Bristol maybe not so important. So you modify the car, or you have a totally different car next weekend?
Yeah, we'll have a different car. We don't really ever turn around a car week to week. Not at Team Penske. That's a lot to ask for, to turn a car around. These cars are scheduled out months ahead of where they're going to go and everything, and because it's not just one car. You got your backup cars and all that, and when you have three teams you're trying to get everything ready for, and it's just the schedule becomes very important of where these cars are placed out, and it's strategically placed out in certain ways to make sure we have the best cars when we go to the racetrack. But what we run here in Michigan, body spec wise is pretty similar, but obviously the setup and everything underneath the car is completely different.
Do we have additional questions for Joey Logano? Let's go to Brian, then to Chris. Or we go Chris, then to Brian.
Chris, NightCatchFence.com. Joey, has it said in that you're going to be a dad? And what are you doing to prepare for fatherhood?
Well, there's I'm reading this book that Brad bought me called "Dude, You're Gonna Be a Dad," and it's actually been pretty accurate so far. It kind of takes you through the pregnancy stages of what your wife's going through. And that's been pretty accurate as I was reading it. But as far as the baby part, I haven't got to that part of the book. But besides that, we have, just kind of, we painted the room. We got a crib. We got the stuff. We did the registering, which was way more than I ever thought it would be. Way harder than I thought it would be. They gave us 2 scanners, and I was over in a corner scanning all the toys. Like, oh, cool, dump truck. Yeah, he needs a dump truck. And she's over there picking out the bottles, and I was like, well, maybe I should go back over there. So it's going to be fun, but, really, I mean, you don't know what you don't know sometimes. Just like when I first started cup racing, I didn't know what I was doing. It's going to be kind of the same thing. I don't know if any parent really knows exactly what they're doing. Their first time they have a kid, I don't think. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. But
You're the only one who doesn't know.
I'm the only one that doesn't know what they're doing? I know you're full of it. So we're going to figure it out on the way. We are starting to schedule those things to go to classes and CPR classes and all this type of stuff to make sure we don't kill the kid. We don't want to do that. We gotta learn what we're doing.
The book should be titled "Dude, Stock Up on Your Sleep Now."
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
It's confusing. I mean, like, how much do you feed them? I don't know. I mean, we gotta learn all that stuff.
Good luck figuring it out.
Yeah.
Brian Nelson, MRN. Before I get to my actual question, Joey, have you had to go on any craving errands?
Ice cream, man. Ice cream is the fix-all. I tell you what. And it's a different flavor of ice cream a lot of times. So that's kind of the go-to for her, which is okay because I end up eating a lot of the ice cream too. I see how that works. Eventually, you have the dad bod, right? So I can see how that happens.
So you got Michigan, Bristol, then there's Darlington, and finally Richmond. As you're trying to win a race and secure your place in the playoffs, Michigan, Bristol, Richmond, could there be a better stretch of racetracks for you?
Probably not. Those are really good racetracks for us. Michigan, we've proven that we can run well here. Bristol is probably one of our best racetracks as well, especially in the fall race. The track's definitely different from the spring to the fall because there's so many different cars running on it, so it changes it up. Richmond, we've shown we can win there a couple times. I feel good about that. Darlington is probably the one that stands out to me that might be a little bit more challenging, but it is because we haven't won there. That's really the only reason. But we've had some top fives and run up front there, so I don't look at that racetrack and say we don't have a chance. I feel like we still be fine there. It just might be a little bit different. So, I think short tracks are a good place for myself and the 22 team in the past. So I look forward to those races coming up, but mainly focused on this weekend, obviously.
Any additional questions for Joey? All the way in the back. John?
Hi, Joey. John Kubo, Shake and Bake, Cleveland, Ohio. August 18th. Yes, sir. August 18th, Logan Lucky. Your silver screen debut.
Yes.
But not your first auspicious debut in a movie, Sharknado 3, oh hell no. How important is doing stuff like that, getting you guys closer and your fellow drivers to just relatable and having more fan appreciation for doing the things that a regular fan like myself can identify with?
I think it's important for a lot of different reasons. Yes, for one, like you said, kind of personality, but you're acting, so it's a little bit not your personality, right? You're acting as someone else most of the time. But I think in a bigger scale, it's important for our sport to do things like that. We're reaching out to possibly non-fans of our sport, and maybe when they watch a movie like that and they see a lot of racing and NASCAR stuff, maybe they become a fan. Maybe it brings them to go to one race, and a lot of times when someone goes to a race, they get hooked, so maybe it helps kind of draw that stuff up. So anytime we can do things that are outside of the typical race market are things that I get really excited about, because not only are you growing your brand personally, but you're growing the brand of the sport, and ultimately that helps everybody.
Any additional questions for Joey? Well, Joey, congratulations on figuring everything out as far as the,
I don't.
Well-
I don't have anything figured out.
but we do appreciate you donating to the next Kids Drive NASCAR campaign with an actual kid. That's great.
Yeah, there we go.
That's awesome. Good deal.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
well.
keep my kid though. Yeah.
Good deal.
It sounded weird when you put it that way, but yeah. Thanks, guys.